Guys, the LA Gamer here, and today I am bringing you guys a new series on NBA 2K17. This series I'm already doing on MLB The Show, but this will be the 30-to-1 rebuild series 2K style. As I'm assuming a lot of you guys are probably new, if you guys are just 2K watchers, 30-to-1 rebuild is a rebuild series where I attempt to rebuild each and every team ranked 30th, ranked 1st. Now, they don't really have rankings in this team, or in this game. In MLB they do. They have the team rankings where you can see how good each and every team is. I also want to mention I'm going to be doing this on Madden too, so if you guys like Madden, you guys like football, I'll be doing it soon on that, and obviously I already have it on baseball. So just want to get that little shout out to myself. But with that out of the way I'm going to be basing team rankings, because they don't have it in the game, I'm going to be basing it off real life standings. I think that's kind of the most accurate way to determine how good a team is. Obviously there's other things, like the Cavaliers had a worse record than the Celtics, but we all know the Cavaliers are better than the Celtics. So there's a few situations where I might mix it up, because I think there's a few situations where your intuitive nature just knows that some teams are better than other teams. And in a lot of situations where teams are tied record-wise, I'm just gonna use my own intuition to just go, oh, this team's probably better than that team. But based off records and based off a lot of intuition and just natural knowledge of the sport of basketball, it seems pretty clear that the worst team in basketball is likely the Brooklyn Nets. So that will be the team we will be rebuilding first. I'm not gonna do any changing to the sliding, or the sliders. I know a lot of people do have specific ways they like to have the sliders adjusted and rearranged, but I personally just I haven't done enough research on those things, and there might be, as obviously I'm going to be doing all 30 teams. If you guys have recommendations or certain teams or slider, not teams, but you have slider rearrangements that you think will help the rebuild and make it more entertaining, I'll be more than happy to try them out for you. But for this season, we're going to keep all this. Well, is there anything we shouldn't have manual? Just the lineup every time the roster changes. I might turn that to auto. Injuries, I'm gonna turn that to auto, because injuries happen so often in sports. Like, oh, they sprain their thumb, or they're not. They like sprain their thumb. They're out for one game. It's like, you don't need me to rearrange the minutes for one game. You guys can do that. It's very rare that a big enough injury happens that it makes a big change. The draft, fill roster, all this stuff. This is all stuff that obviously is part of the rebuild, and that's something I should be taking care of. So I don't think there's anything else I need to do besides just hop in it. So I think to keep it more interesting, let's actually try to get some nice let's not even pay attention to what my roster names are. If we're gonna go with some draft classes that are very highly rated, it appears that Embrace the Pace has quite a positive reputation to his rosters. I mean, look at this, 4.7 million downloads. Are you serious? 159 updates. This dude really put some hard work into this, so props to him. Would you like storylines to be generated and applied to players in the draft class? They may affect their attributes and other properties, but make things more unpredictable and interesting. Although under normal circumstances, I would say that's really cool. I don't know what's the chance of having really good players be extremely underrated, because this thing messes up there. I don't want Markelle Fultz to get messed up and he ends up turning into a center. Like, sometimes that stuff is just stupid. So we're gonna turn that off, just so I'm not taking the risk of anything really ridiculous happening. But let's start by looking at the roster. So we have a center in Brook Lopez, point guard Jeremy Lin, Trevor Booker at power forward, Kirkpatrick. I mean, this would be an awesome team if this was our bench. I like Brook Lopez. That could be we can build around him at center. He's not a bad center. I'm not gonna pretend like he's just trash. I'm fine with him. Jeremy Lin, I'm fine with too. I think he could be a great player off the bench primarily. I don't think he's necessarily the guy that I want as my go-to point guard, though. A guy that'd be taking the ball down court. I want a guy with a little bit more talent. That's just the only way I could really say that. Same with Booker. I mean, none of these guys are necessarily bad players, and that really has to be emphasized. None of these guys are really bad players. They're all most of them are very young and have some potential to them. But most of these guys I see primarily as solid players to come off the bench, and maybe some of them can develop into a starting player. Doing rebuilds are a lot easier, I think, in baseball, because there's a lot more positions, there's a lot more variety on how you can do it. This, you really have to make the right decisions with the right players. You can't mess up, because those players take a whole lot of the team. So with that being the case, I like LeVert. He might he might develop. The A- potential, he might develop into a player that could be a starting shooting guard for us, and that's obviously ideal. He was drafted fairly not fairly high. He was drafted 20th, but he was drafted with a pretty high expectation that he could be a pretty good player. So I'm hoping obviously for the same thing. Now, we're not going to do any expansion. We're not going to do any team relocating. We're bringing that championship to Brooklyn, nowhere else. And if I want to mention this, because a lot of you guys might be new to the series, a rebuild for me doesn't necessarily entail winning a championship. It's not like that. I think the right way to look at a rebuild is done when a team is a championship contender and should be winning championships. So basketball is not usually always one of these sports, but let's say you're a team that just makes it super far, but just can't win that ring. Let's say I make it to the championship series. Not the championship series. I'm so used to playing baseball. Let's say I make it to the conference finals 3 or 4 years in a row. That's a rebuild. Like, that team is really good. If you make it to the conference finals 3 or 4 years in a row, no owner in sports will ever complain about that. That's extreme success. That's a real rebuild. Now, obviously, the goal is to win a championship. That's the primary goal, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make that the end result. But I also have to keep it realistic and let you guys know what the ideal is for me as a rebuild. So, with that out of the way, no more reasoning to keep talking about this. There's a lot more that goes into a rebuild on 2K. So, what I'm going to do is probably just sim this first season. That's usually kind of the strategy here, is you got to do a lot of simming. And the first season, usually not a lot we can do. We don't have a lot of trade value. We don't really have a lot of anything. And even if I did have trade value, what's the point of trading when we don't have a good enough team to trade for anything that important anyway? So, we're just going to simulate the first season, see if we can get some nice draft picks, see if maybe we can get one above average player in free agency. And then at that point, that's usually where I make trades and try to start building around a little bit. And then you try to get a star to kind of join those nice players. And then we try to figure it out from there. So we're going to sim this first season, try to get a nice rookie in the free agency. But we'll see how that goes for us. So I'll see you guys in just a second. And wait 1 second. I'm not kidding. I only just simmed, like, I don't even think I simmed through one game in the season yet. Let's prove this. No games. I've not played a game yet. I'm already getting a trade from the Detroit Pistons to trade me Andre Drummond for Brook Lopez. Now, Brook Lopez being 28, Andre Drummond being 23. Andre Drummond, he's not quite the scorer and nearly the shooter that Brook Lopez is. Lopez can shoot the ball. Drummond can't even make a free throw. He can. His free throw rating is 39. So, it's a bit of a tough situation, but I think Drummond's the better center. I like centers that can get boards, play defense, and miss free throws. That's the ideal center for me. Because, obviously I'm joking about the last part, but they're probably getting rid of him because he's got a couple more years on his deal, and that's a lot of money to be giving him. But we're giving Brook Lopez about the same amount of money just for 2 less years, and Drummond we're going to have him until he's 27, so what's really the negative? We're probably going to do this rebuild for about 4 years. It's usually the way it usually works. It usually takes about 4 years to rebuild a team. So why not? Yeah, Drummond for Brook Lopez. I will do that. So like I said, now I'm going to be simming to the end of the season. I will obviously occasionally cut out if a big trade like that happens that I want to do. But if that doesn't happen, then I'll just be simming through all of it. So I'll see you guys once we reach free agency and all that good stuff, unless another crazy thing happens. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay guys, the season just came to an end. I believe we finished like 38 and 44. MVP goes to Westbrook, who averaged a triple-double, 31.5, 12, and 12.5. Just not even fair. Rookie of the year was Ben Simmons. Sixth man of the year went to Tyreke Evans. Defensive player of the year was Hassan Whiteside, who averaged 18 points and 16.5 rebounds, which is just completely ridiculous. Most improved player went to Jokic, that stat line is really good. 17, 12, and 7. That's pretty ridiculous. And then Steve Kerr, that's like a Draymond Green stat line right there. Defensively, maybe not quite as good, but then obviously Steve Kerr was coach of the year, which makes sense because that team's always got crazy stats. Steph Curry's on the All-NBA third team, funny enough. Lillard actually got put on the second team, so for once in Lillard's career, he was not severely underrated. How did he play? Pretty good, 26. Okay. How did our team do? That's the more important thing. How did our team do in terms statistically? Okay, Drummond averaged 19.5 points and 15 rebounds, or 14.5 rebounds. Then 15 points, 7 assists, and 4. That's not a bad stat line at all for a point guard. He might end up being my starting point guard if he can maintain that type of ratio or that statistical stat line, and just if we surround him with better players, that might be all right. But then again, there's some great players in this draft, so we don't know if we might get a better point guard. The cool thing is, at this point, the only position that's set in stone is our center, so we can draft just about any player on the board as long as it's not a center. Wait, Wait, no, we made the playoffs? You're kidding me. We made the playoffs? Really? Okay, so I guess we made the playoffs at 38 and 44. I guess that's how you make the playoffs in the East. We're playing the Cavaliers, so this isn't going to get us anywhere. We won game 1. We won game 2. We lost game 3. Okay, there's no way we're winning this series, but I don't know how we won the first 2 games. Okay, yeah, we lost the next 4. How did we win the first 2 games, though? I almost got excited for a second. What if we rebuilt the Nets without doing anything? We almost got really lucky. And the Raptors actually win the chip. They beat the Cavaliers and they beat the... Okay, so this is just proof the 2K simulation's a bit odd. In real life, there's no way the Raptors are beating the Cavaliers. I'm not even a Cavaliers fan, in fact, and it was proven this year that they just got demolished. Here's some retirements. Not really on the Nets. Anybody on my team? No. So no big deal. Hall of Fame inductees. Let's look at that. Paul Pierce and Vince Carter, both very well deserved jersey retirements. Sure, Ginobili and Paul Pierce. That's cool. League meetings. Eliminate the goaltending. I mean, I have Andre Drummond. Maybe I want to do that. Wait, 22 people said yes to eliminating goaltending? Oh my goodness. We need to fix the coaches in this league because they have issues. Top 11 picks are done through the lotto. Once they... Okay. Eligible for the NBA draft once they reach 18 years of age. Actually, I want to make that approved because I have never been against that idea. Okay, so I haven't done all the research on this, and I'm going off topic, but I don't know what the exact reason was for. I don't know if it was to improve NCAA ratings for basketball, or if there's some secondary reasoning behind it. But I never really was against the idea of 18. Once you can make the NBA draft as soon as you are 18. I never was against that. So I mean, I really want to approve that. I really do. I mean, it increases the ratio of busts, but I mean, look at some guys who came out of high school to be monsters. I really want to approve that. Okay, but I'm not going to, because I'm not going to take the risk of people being upset about me doing that. Even though that's personally my opinion, I don't know what the race or like the percentages of people liking that idea and not liking that idea, so I'm not going to just pretend like I know. Being the Nets, what's our... We're not even in the lottery. I forgot how this works. I think in basketball it's not based off record, is it? It's if you make the playoffs, you're not part of the lottery. Isn't that how it works? Either way, we have the 18th pick and the 25th pick. And interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, that's all right, I guess. How's our... We need a new head coach. I'm all about having good coaches. I think that's... Doc Rivers? Okay, yeah, let's get Doc Rivers. I think that's about... Okay. I think that's probably the most important, one of the most important, if not the most important thing you gotta do. You gotta have good coaches. It's like the baseline for everything else you do. We got a great CFO. The CFO looks amazing, but assistant GM's all right with Nathan Smith. We got a decent... Well, that's assistant GM. We have a decent assistant coach and staff or head scouts. Okay. Anyways, draft combine. We're gonna just take a look at these. I mean, yeah, the Nets trainer has uncovered an injury concern with Harry Giles or is it Harry Giles? And his knee. He considers it serious. It's just they do not draft him. That one is kind of self-explanatory. So I think most of us know, if you're following any form of NBA draft, Harry Giles has been well known to be actually he was projected to be one of the top 2 or 3 guys picked when he was coming out of high school. Then he tears his ACL. Then I think he tore his other knees meniscus or some crazy stuff like that. He has knee injuries, and that's not usually what you want to get with a top pick. And in basketball, knee injuries are, well, they basically end your career. They ruin it. So it's just, I'm not going to take that risk either. Pre-draft workouts, let's look. So we can, I mean, we only have like we don't have a good pick. So it's like, who are guys that we can look to get? I mean, truthfully, okay, Dennis Smith's way down here. If we were able to get him this low, which I don't think we will, I think that's a bit Lauri Markkanen is really all the way down here. Dude can shoot the 3-ball. A lot of scouting sites are actually saying he's the best 3-point shooter in the draft. Now I'm not sure if I fully agree with that, but I mean that's crazy. And De'Aaron Fox is way down here. Okay, so we're just gonna look at some guys. Harry Giles, we'll look at him just in case. I mean, if he's that low of a pick, if he's like a second rounder for us, or first round pick, he's worth taking that risk, I think. I like Ferguson, I like Fultz, and obviously there's some other guys. I like Lonzo. Who else is there? Malik Monk. I'm just looking at guys that I know are way higher or way better than that. No, don't. Okay, now I can look at them. Okay, let's see. Sprints, obviously, Lonzo's not the fast. He's actually on par with Fultz sprint-wise. That's interesting. Vertical, 44-inch Malik Monk, 43, 42, 41. All these guys got bunnies besides Markkanen. Let's look at 3-point shooting. Lonzo's actually got like some of the best shooting stats of any of these guys. He looks really good. I like Lonzo a lot, actually. Okay. So we might be trying to trade up and get Lonzo. So the NBA draft's here. Now we have 2 first-round picks, so I mean, with 2 first-round picks, we can probably make a trade in the draft. We're looking probably. I didn't know the Hawks would have the 2nd pick. That's a bit weird. Yeah, we'd be looking to get a pretty good player, or a pretty good pick, hopefully. So Trade Finder. Let's just see what type of picks we can be looking at. What? Can you not do trade? You can't do Trade Finder with picks, really? Oh, yeah, you can. No, I'm not looking. I'm looking for a pick this year. They're all looking to give me players. Pelicans, that might be a good pick, but no. Okay, I'm gonna just have to do my own trading. So there we go, and then I'm looking at maybe that Lakers pick, that number 3 overall pick. Not happening. Okay, I forgot the trade logic in this game, how that works. We can add Jeremy Lin, get him back to LA. I do want to get Lonzo probably with that pick. So getting rid of Lin wouldn't be the biggest downfall for us. He's getting $12 million a year too. Yeah, to open up some cap space. Really? Okay. The trade logic in this game is tough too. I forgot that. Any decent prospects we have over here? Potential wise, I'm not trading Levert. Maybe Rondé. Never mind. RG Goodwin? No. He's also about to be a free agent. All these guys are about to be free agents? Okay, never mind. I can't trade any of these guys then. I'll add next year's first rounder, but maybe top 5 protected. There we go. Okay, top 5 protected. So we lost our first rounders this year. We lost Jeremy Lin, and we did a top 5 unprotected, or top 5 protected next year. So if we have a top 5 pick, we'll keep that pick. Outside of that, though, I'm all right trading our next year's first rounder. We're not gonna get Fultz, and hopefully the 2nd pick does not end up being. I'm just gonna. Can I skip through this? I thought you could. It's gonna be Malik Monk. Okay, that is a shocker. I've received 13 trade offers. Let's just look at them. More. Oh, the game is doing this again. I forgot 2K does this. I forgot. Look at his stat line when he's in college. 25, 9 assists, 5.5 rebounds, 3.5 steals, and 0.7 blocks. I mean, I'll take him. And you can actually see his stats now because he was already drafted. So the passing is great. Okay, so yeah, so he's not gonna be as prone to pass. He wouldn't be as prone to pass as Lonzo would be. I'm sure his I can't see him, but his tendencies will be. Well, yeah, I can. His tendency to shoot's gonna be a bit higher. What's his passing tendency? I don't know if the guy put a lot of time into this part. I know this part probably took a lot of time. It would be really tough to determine the tendencies of rookie players. You have to watch so much tape. But where's the passing tendency? I may have already passed by that. I probably did. Maybe I didn't. Did I not see it? Is it not up here? And if it is, you guys are... Oh, it was right here, my bad. Dish, I was looking for the word pass. Touches, okay, I want him touching the ball pretty often. Dish to open man tendency, attack strong on drive. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that tendency. Obviously, I like the fact that I can get DeAndre Jordan too. I can get Mike Conley. I just looked at all these, but I can get Malik Monk, but that's not really... I don't think he's anywhere in the same stratosphere, talent-wise, as why I'm blanking as Markelle Fultz. You get Brooke Lopez back, Luis Williams, Eric Bledsoe. I mean, I can get CJ McCollum. I can get some awesome players, but I think talent-wise, gotta go with Markelle Fultz. Obviously, I wanted to use this pick to get Lonzo, but I think Fultz might be the better option. I think Fultz is the better option for this team. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm going to be doing a 30-to-1 rebuild, so I'm sure Lonzo is going to go on at least one of these teams I'm going to be rebuilding. But for right now, they're going to get Jason Tatum with that pick. So I guess they wanted Tatum more than they wanted. I mean, that's the one thing. I don't really like the logic of this, of the trades in the draft, because the teams do that all the time. They'll draft a guy number 1 overall, then they'll trade him back to another team for the 3rd overall pick. It's like, what changed your mind the last, you know, what happened in the last 2.5 minutes that made you want to trade him? I just don't get it. We have 16 trade offers though for this pick. Anything really worth much? Well, I mean, our pick's not worth anything, so can't be that surprised that these players aren't worth anything. No, we can just sign or get somebody with this pick. Never know. Oh, Frank Mason's up there. I know Frank Mason was all right. Let's just go by this order. Whoa, guys, we should go 5th. He's still up there. Oh, this Ojalehi guy. He's I don't know. He was way overhyped, so nobody's drafted him. Harry Giles is still up there. Now this is a 2nd round pick. And Giles he knows how to play. I don't know if this guy made him as good as they should be, but he knows how to play basketball. Like, there's no doubt in that. It's just that obviously he has knee issues. Let's see. Frank Mason, I like him also. I do like Frank Mason. And I recognize the majority of these guys, but Harry Giles, he just stands out. I gotta go with him. He does have the knee issues, but he's a 2nd round pick. We're not giving him a huge rookie contract because he's so late in the draft, so we can just sim that. We don't need to hear his name getting called, so just sim to our next pick. There he is right there. So if we can just sim to our next pick, I'm assuming that'll just be the end of the draft. Oh no, we have another 2nd round pick. I did not know the Nets stocked up so many picks. We have the 47th pick. And we can get Frank Mason the 3rd. Because for some reason, we're getting them traded back. So we'll get Frank Mason the 3rd now. Which is actually cool, because that's a guy I wanted. So it's coincidental that they're trading him back to me. With the 47th pick in the NBA which still doesn't make much sense, because they drafted him about 7 picks earlier. But I guess they wanted this guy. Like I said, trade logic in this game, sometimes it's very good, sometimes it's very bad. I like the fact that the trades are usually harder, but sometimes they gotta make a little bit more sense. Lonzo ended up getting taken 9th. That's very odd. He got taken to the Kings. Obviously has a lot of talent. Passing wise, yep, his passing stats are just gonna be through the roof. He's gonna be a great player. We just went with Fultz because he's the more individually talented player, but I think this is kind of just how people are viewing these players. Lonzo Ball is more likely to be a guy who makes the rest of his team better, but Markelle Fultz is the better individual player. It's a weird comparison between the two. Very different skill sets. And Harry Giles is already a 70 overall. Frank Mason's a 67. I will take these guys. We're going to get them on cheap contracts. So we'll advance right through that. Player options. How'd Joe Harris do? He never played, so we don't need him. KJ McDaniels. He's actually not bad at all, but doesn't look like he's getting any time for us. Yeah, he would never play. So since he'll never play, we won't get him. We'll just get Dinwiddie, Kilpatrick, and Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. So simply that. I'm not even gonna. Sometimes this stuff doesn't even represent who's gonna be in the free agency and who's not. So we're just gonna keep simming, and my free agents. Two of these guys just want to test free agency: Goodwin and Quincy AC. So in terms of guys that I actually want to, I won't re-sign any of these guys. I don't care a whole lot about them. So if we go to actual free agency, ooh. The Warriors are getting broken up, possibly. Steph Curry and Kevin Durant looking to go to a new location. Now, with us having Markelle Fultz, don't really need Steph Curry, and to be honest, I'd rather build a team around Kevin Durant than Steph Curry, just based off height and just all that good stuff. So, at a player option, I mean, I don't know exactly where we can see how interested he is. I don't know if a no trade clause to get him. Interest unknown. Oh, that has to do. That's probably someone with his personality. Interest unknown. Is there anybody whose interest may be known? That's odd. I don't know if that's something with our team side of things, where we can't see interest of certain certain players. That's weird. Okay. Either way, let's go look at our roster real quick. I mean, obviously, there's no doubt that if we can get KD, we're gonna try to get KD. We have Fultz and Drummond, which is a solid pairing right there, but we need to work. Okay, we need to work on our middle three positions. As shooting guard, I like LeVert actually. LeVert might end up being something for us as shooting guard. So primarily, if we can get a small forward and a power forward, we really need a power forward. That'd be really cool. Okay, Griffin's good, but I don't see him being a championship power forward. I think Ibaka could be a solid defensive presence down there with Drummond. He can shoot decently too, I think. Yeah, he's got a pretty decent shot. So. 3 years, I don't know if 20 million is worth it though. But I can get a player like this, 3 overall was worse for about a third of the cost. It just seems like this guy for even half that. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'd rather get Beasley, to be honest. Oh, I can't renegotiate. Okay. So I like Michael Beasley, to be honest. I'm not in basketball. A lot of players get overpaid. I'm just not down to do that. I'm not down to be one of those players that overpays, or one of those people that overpays for a player. It's not worth it. When you can get a guy just very similar in overall for literally $18 million less, it doesn't make sense to waste your money on some of those things. Pending offers, they're mulling the offer. Okay. Accepted other offer. Kevin Durant has decided to go with the. Back to the Warriors, and it appears Steph Curry probably did the same. Let's check. Yeah, so no breaking up that Warriors dynasty. So that being the case, now we can maybe invest in some of these other guys. We can get a Blake Griffin. It'd be a solid duo down there. I think Fultz would strive in that environment where we have a situation where we have 2 great big men and Fultz to kind of pass it down to him. Also, surrounding Fultz with some shooters would definitely help. And Otto Porter can shoot the ball. You want $22 million, my dude? Okay, no, never mind. In my mind, he can't shoot the ball. Then he's never going to be. No shooters worth that much money. Even though he's a good player, he's a lot better than people thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be at least. After that first year, I was like, dude, this guy sucks. After this first year, where he averaged 2 points, I thought he was awful. And then he really kind of came into what he was, what his potential was. I don't know if his potential is any higher. What's his potential look like? If he gets even better than he is right now, not really. Then no, he's not worth the money. Gordon Hayward also, let's offer him a big deal. I'm just trying to get some big player to sign, and then we can build around that. Because we already have Drummond. If we can get one more big player and then get some solid role players to match Fultz and LeVert, who should turn into pretty good players, we'll be just fine. Gordon Hayward accepted another offer, so he went back to the Utah Jazz. So right now, the only guy that we have on our board that we could possibly get, Is Blake Griffin. I don't. We do need a power forward at some point though, so just in case we'll offer Allen Williams a contract. And Blake Griffin signed back with the Clippers, so none of these teams want to leave, I guess. Or it also makes sense that a lot of these teams probably want to play for a team that's a little bit better than ours, so we're going to sign Allen Williams just because we need a power forward. This team's still not that bad, though. I mean, it could be a lot worse. We won 38 games last season. We made the playoffs, so it's not that bad. But we do need to get either a better small forward or power forward. That was a good free agency for it, but we don't have enough value on our team to impress people, I guess, enough to even come over there. So in terms of player progression, we'll just go through free agency because there's no real purpose in me looking at that anymore. Because, I mean, there's no big guys, and I don't feel like, you know, giving any baby contracts to anybody. So, player progression, Drummond got a little bit better. LeVert got a lot better. 4 overall is better. At that pace, I mean, even at that pace, give him a couple more years, he can be a mid-80s overall. And if he ends up panning out to be that good, I'll be stoked. Hollis Jefferson's a solid guy off the bench for small forward. He's the starter now, but he'd be a solid guy off the bench, especially defensively. I know he's a great defensive small forward, very athletic. I like him, and he's lengthy, so I do like him. But now we gotta do summer league. We don't have a roster of 13 people. Oh, we don't have 13 eligible people. Oh, we can make more people. Okay. Sure. I don't have to pay him any money, right? They just, yeah, no. Oh, Jonathan Simmons. I mean, he might make the roster too. I mean, we also already did with the Spurs. We need a center. We need a couple of centers. So, add to roster. Add to roster. Kyle Anderson. Yeah, sure. What's going on? Let's click edit mode. Why am I trying? Why would I change his name? Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. 2K Hoop Summit. So, fully customized. I would just download the next year's draft class, which I'll be honest, I'm not nearly as aware of. This year, there's been so much debate about this year's draft class just because of Lonzo, basically. So, I'm not quite as knowledgeable on next year's, but I'll make sure to take some look at it. The 2K Hoop Summit, I don't need to be involved in that. Top high school prospects and college prospects in a matchup that pits the USA against the world. That's pretty cool. I mean, it'll give us a good look at the high school prospects that we're going to have in that rookie draft class. But it will be alright. Training camps is what we really need to do because we need to improve our players. So one thing I want to work on is probably, let's get Markelle Fultz a little bit more athletic. Get that speed up. If we can get him just flying around the court, that'd be awesome. And then let's work on, what's the LeVert need to work on a little bit more? He can shoot alright. Can he play defense? He can play decent defense. He needs to be more athletic also. So never mind, we're just doing athletic camp for those two guys. We need our guards to be more athletic. And let's advance to the next season. There we go. Okay, so that's what our team looks like right now. The progression on how I wanted each of these players to join the team didn't go quite along as well as I wanted it to in that last offseason, because that was a big offseason. I wanted us to make a big move. But in basketball, it's way harder to sign big free agents. In baseball and other sports, and even football, it's not quite as hard because there's so many positions. Most players are fine as long as they get big contracts just to go to that team. But in basketball, I feel like in basketball, there's more of a devotion to winning championships. And so teams really go back to the team that gives them the best chance of doing that. And obviously, with our team lineup right now, we don't give the best chance. But that's the whole point of this. In a few years, we should be able to. So I'm going to start simming again. I don't know any big trades that we should do. Most of my rebuilding, normally I try to focus around the draft and free agency. Because sometimes trades can actually screw you over more than anything else. But we only have a top 5 protected pick So we might end up trading for a pick. We'll go to the trade deadline, see what our pick would look like, and then we might trade for a pick. So I'll see you guys once we get there. Okay, guys, we made it to the halfway mark. I just spent way too much time trying to make a trade to try to get one of those top picks, because right now we only have a top 3 protected, and with our record, I don't think there's any chance we're moving in that top 3 unless the draft lottery just ends up totally blessing us. And let's just be honest, that's not normally how it works. So with that being the case, we probably won't have a top pick. I did all kinds of trades right here, trying to make sure we can get a top pick, because this draft class is pretty nice. I'm starting to kind of recollect, and I kind of remember how good this team was, or how good this draft class was. They have a few big guys. Let's just mention them. Michael Porter Jr., DeAndre Ayton, Trevin Duval, I remember, was highly rated. I know Colin Sexton was highly rated. A lot of these guys I know are really good. I haven't done enough reading on a lot of them, but guys I know are very well known are Colin Sexton and Duval. I think Duval's a great 3-point shooter. Was that? No. I thought he. Whoa, maybe he wasn't. No, it wasn't Duval. He was a 3-point shooter. He was the really athletic one. So there's definitely some more research I need to do on all these guys, but I have a base understanding. I know that Michael Porter Jr. is really good. I mean, he's a small forward that has a 7'1" wingspan and 6'9". He's 6'10" actually. Yeah, so he would be a monster for us, because we do need a small forward. So I would love to have Michael Porter. I'd also love to have Ayton. I'd love to have a lot of these guys, but truthfully, I don't think we'll be able to maneuver a pick to get that. So maybe towards draft time we will be able to, or maybe luckily we'll get lucky and the CPU will trade me back one of their earlier picks. We'll figure it out. I'm sure things will naturally have a way of figuring themselves out. But right now, I don't think this midseason is the point where we should be making a big move. So we're gonna sim to the end, into the off season, and then that's where we'll try to make most of our moves to really kind of get a solid foundation on how we're gonna rebuild this team. Okay, guys, the regular season just ended. Kevin Durant walking on here with the MVP award. Sadly, obviously, we couldn't get our hands on him, because then we would have the MVP on our team, which would be a big difference maker. Lonzo Ball is Rookie of the Year, averaging 17, 11, and 6 with 2.5. Okay, God. So we didn't get the Rookie of the Year there in Fultz, but Lonzo, I mean, he's averaged 17, 11 as a rookie. I should have known, man. I should have known. He's got that playmaking. He's a solid player. We probably should have considered that a little bit more. DeAndre Jordan was Defensive Player of the Year. Sixth Man of the Year was Plumlee. Most Improved was Ronnie Hood, and then actually the Coach of the Year this year was Rick Carlisle for the Boston Celtics. So here's a look at the All-NBA first team. Second team. Oh, whoa, what was that? Okay, didn't mean that. Second team, All-NBA second team has Lonzo Ball featured in it. That's just, he's an All-NBA second team player as a rookie. Are you kidding me? All-NBA third team, yeah, no, Fultz is making that, but it looked like, yeah, Fultz on the all-defensive second team, though. These games look good, though. 25-8-10, 25-7-4, 24-9-8, 24-4-9, 14-9. These are all solid stat lines. Like, these are all really good for a rookie. And it shows that he can more or less do it all. He averaged 17, 7.5, and 4. Not quite Lonzo level, though. I gotta be honest, not quite Lonzo level. But they were both all defensive second team players. Lonzo Ball with a few more steals, or a couple, 0.2 more steals. Fultz with 0.4 more blocks. So at least we got some solid defensive players right there, solid defensive guards in the draft. In terms of all rookie first team, Josh Jackson is there too with his Albert Einstein hair. Zach Collins also made it, and Dennis Smith made the back end of it. So the second team was actually Malik Monk, who was the second overall pick. He got 17 points a game and was second team, so that gives you an idea of how talented this draft class actually is. Jason Tatum, Bam Adebayo, and Jonathan Isaac. So a few quality guys definitely came out of that draft. Now for us, we finished 38-44, but not quite as lucky in this year to actually earn a playoff spot with that. I don't think we should either. I don't think that's quite good enough. So we were 3 games out. Sad thing is, we were going to trade for that Magic pick too. They did end up being the #1 overall pick. Or I was trying to. I was going to trade for that pick, but it basically it was like worth 4 stars, and that's about how much Fultz was worth. And to be honest, I wasn't going to trade Fultz for any player in that draft class, because I actually like Fultz a lot. So we're simming through here. We're looking around. Boston versus Golden State. Golden State will win in 6. Now we got to actually look back, and Kevin Durant's the Finals MVP too. I so much hate that we weren't able to get him. So yeah, the Warriors win it in 6. They actually almost lost in the first round to the Lakers, funny enough, and the Celtics almost lost back-to-back. You know, went to 7 against the Wizards, went to 7 against the Sixers. The Sixers actually managed to sweep the Cavaliers, so that just shows there's like a change in talent, I guess. I don't know how the Sixers got so good. Maybe, you know, trust the process. I guess Embiid's just starting to feel himself a little bit. Tony Parker got his jersey retirement. Sweet. Change the time and offense given to advance the ball to the front court to 6 seconds from 8. That would make the full court press pretty overpowered. But odds of obtaining a top 3 pick are based on the team's final record. Of obtaining a top 3 pick? Well, first up, I'm going to probably reject this. I don't want to make anything too confusing because it'll change all the stats. The stats will go up because there'll be a lot more shots taken a game. And obviously that's entertaining, but I like seeing guys score 40 points a game. Don't get me wrong. I just don't want to jeopardize the whole, you know, idea of this rebuild. So the Nets, we naturally have the 13th overall pick. 14th pick goes to the Indiana Pacers, and 13th pick we gotta assume. 13th pick goes to the Boston Celtics from our team. So that concludes the 2018 draft lottery. We don't have a pick. Yeah, no, we don't have a pick. So I don't even know if we need to go into the draft. We don't have anybody. So we'll just skip right through the draft. We'll go to rookie signing. I mean, the only pick we have is in the 2nd round. And for all of you guys who are basketball aficionados and play 2K, you should know 2K does not usually... Oh, we didn't even have that pick. 2K does not usually offer any talent in the 2nd round. But it didn't even matter. I guess we didn't have a 2nd round pick, so I was actually wrong about that. Either way, we're obviously going to get LeVert back on that 2-year team deal. He's going to accept that. We had to get him back, though. He's a monster. Dinwiddie, I like him. I don't know why we would get rid of him. We got Isaiah Whitehead back, and I like Hollis Jefferson. Harry Giles did all right for us. 7 points a game. He played 59 games. He probably got injured part of it, but that's all right. So now we have Harry Giles and Frank. Do we want to get him back? He didn't play at all, so I do like him, but he's not going to play at all. Now, let's go to qualifying offers. We don't have any of those. My free agents. How much is he only wants... Oh, he only wants that much. Okay, I can offer you that. Jeff Green, I'm fine letting him go. I'm fine with letting those guys go. Just to offer up a little, or open up a lot of money. Ooh, here we go. Okay, as mentioned, what we need is forwards at this point. We need small forwards and power forwards, and Paul George is obviously the highlight of this year's free agency. So, I'm fine with Alan Williams actually at power forward. He did all right for us, if I remember. 11 and 9. That's fine by me. I mean, obviously, I want more talent, but 2K, man, 2K makes it tough to max out your talent. I don't know how to make these guys want to... I wish I could offer them more money, but there's obviously a cap limit, so I don't know how I'm supposed to contend for some of these players. Julius Randle's all right. We can get Aaron Gordon. I mean, we can get solid players, but like we need stars. I mean, the Nets are actually filled with solid players. I mean, we have a full lineup of solid players, but we need a star. You know, that's really where we need to make our move. I mean, we can probably get... Oh, Aaron Gordon wants that much. Oh, you guys are kidding me. That's actually funny. Do I not have any money or something? I don't know why those guys are blocked out or why I was doing that. Okay, well that's just confusing me, so I don't want to deal with all that. Who are some guys we can get as solid backups? Trevor Reeves would be a solid backup. For Drummond, Nerlens would be awesome, but he wants a lot of money. Alex Len's pretty solid. We can get him. Shooting guards, I would not mind getting Jonathan Simmons, especially on a minimum deal. I mean, just I don't know. I guess might as well try to get a few solid guys, but Ariza will sign. Paul George Mulling offer. I already know Paul George is going to sign. Like, it doesn't work that way. You just don't get that lucky, it seems. Yeah, Paul George accepted that offer. Kilpatrick went to the Cavaliers. Paul George went back to the Pacers. Nobody wants to change their team, I guess. Oh, Embiid's up on the board. Now, I do know we already have Drummond. I'm just going to max out his contracts. Lord knows I need something to go my way. But we already have Drummond, but I'll figure it out. I know I'll figure that one out. And actually, no. Embiid left anyways. Whoa, no he didn't. No he didn't. It just said that. I'm gonna keep trying. He went to the Spurs. Oh geez, that Spurs team's gonna be stacked too. That's gonna be an interesting battle of the West. So now all of our hope has to go into Fultz and LeVert somehow developing a lot in the next year or two. Both of them have crazy high potential, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, both of them have A+ potential. I think we might get lucky with that. We'll just have to wait and see, but we need to hope they progress a lot. Like a lot. If they can go to like mid to high 80s, we'll be like we'll probably be a top 4 or 5 seed in the East, because the East isn't all that talented. That's the benefit of starting a rebuild on a team in the East. It benefits you in that way. So Fultz got a bit better, LeVert got a bit better, but we need a faster progression than just this. Let's go straight to training camps. I don't care about any of that stuff a whole lot. We have great team chemistry, not chemistry. For this year, we're gonna actually auto-generate because we're already past all that good stuff. Fultz, you don't really need to work on any of your. Let's just keep making those guys more athletic. I really want those athletic guards. And we'll advance next season. I think if we can make those guys like a John Wall and Beal type of status, which is kind of what their playstyle is almost kind of assimilate or what am I trying to say? They almost kind of are resembled in that way, you know, because Fultz isn't really that fast, but Fultz is a very talented point guard. This is not a good comparison whatsoever. I'm trying to make him really fast, what I'm saying. So Fultz can be like a John Wall, and LeVert can kind of shoot and place him, you know, pretty talented offensively. So he could be like a Bradley Beal. Regardless, what I'm trying to say is I want a great front court, and then if you pair that with Drummond down there, you know, or I want a great backcourt, and then you pair Drummond up there in the front court to be one of the best centers probably in the league, consistently averaging, you know, a double-double and high 10s in the points and mid-10s in rebounds. That's a solid center to build around. So these guys can develop. Then Hollis Jefferson actually can be a pretty solid defensive presence there at small forward. We don't need him to score any points. We already have 2 solid scorers on Fultz and LeVert, and then another decent scorer on Allen Williams. I mean, most of our points I want to come from the guards, and then let Drummond score a little bit down there. But our backup's not that bad either. So hopefully these guys develop. But now I'm going to sim into midseason once again and see if we can make any big trades or anything that can really make a difference. But we'll find out in a second. So I'll see you guys once we're at midseason. Okay, guys, here we are at the trade deadline once again. Actually looking very good. 34-22 record. Lost the last 2 games, but we were on quite the streak here just a little while ago. We beat the Wizards, Pelicans, Hawks, Cavaliers, Bulls, the Sixers, the Kings, and the Warriors. So we were just on a roll. I mean, we beat the Cavaliers and the Warriors. When you go on a roll like that, where you beat, you know, 2 of the consensus best teams in the league while on the course of an 8-game winning streak, there's no complaining about that. So our team's been a bit streaky, a bit good, a bit here and there. Now you see LeVert, actually oddly enough, his stats are going down a little bit. Don't know exactly what's going on here. Stats are going down though. But he's 82 overall. Fultz is an 86. Drummond's an 86. Paul Jefferson, all these guys. So there's been some steady improvements between all of them. Most of them are getting pretty good. And this was mainly what I was mentioning. Is all I need is for those guys to reach their potential, and we'll be good. Like, we'll be solid that way. Drummond's not exactly. He's not getting any better though. That's the one thing that kind of sucks. He's only an 86 overall. He's not really getting any better. I want him to at least reach high 80s, low 90s to give us a chance. I like Hollis Jefferson. I like Williams. This team's all right, but like I said, one more starter in the mix or something like that would really help. Because I mean, having multiple guys this good does make your team pretty good. But I want to have at least 190 overall. But then again, I do think Fultz could probably develop into that. by about next season, or maybe the season after that. But regardless, now is the trade deadline. I don't know if we have any real trade value to make a trade here that would do anything for us. But Ben Simmons is only an 83 actually. I think something's wrong with the potential in this game. You know, let me adjust that slider before I do anything else in this rebuild, because usually I don't do this, but something's making me realize, dude, players develop way too slow in this game. Like, Ben Simmons will never develop because the game, like, never allows them to. Player progression rate. Like, let's just test it. This first one's supposed to be a test. Let's just see, because I don't think it's realistic at all that... I think Fultz reaches development really quick. I think that one makes sense, because he was the first overall pick. But let's look at some other guys. I mean, Ingram's still only an 80. I mean, let's just be real. What's it like? And Lonzo's only an 82. There's just some players that I'm gonna go through, and it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense that there's no. I mean, Ben Simmons is a real noticeable one. If anything, his stats are going down. Like, the dude, there's no way Simmons will be getting any worse year by year until he's quite, you know, he's viewed as one of the top potential players that I've been seeing in a long time. So there shouldn't be any reason that he's actually getting worse. Just isn't there. So that being the case, that's just me having a little bit of a rant. I don't know any trades we necessarily need to do at this point. We are, like I said, the second team in the conference. Look real quick. Yeah, the second team in the conference, 2.5 games behind the Cavaliers. With how close we are, I'm going to assume, like I said, we'll probably get the 4th or 5th seed. And then maybe if we get one more star, I think we can be the #1 seed and possibly a championship contender. But either way, we'll sim to playoffs now. Obviously, based on our record, we're almost a guaranteed lock for the playoffs. So once we reach the playoffs, we'll see what we can do there, and hopefully we can make a push for maybe a conference finals appearance or something. So I'll see you guys once we get there. Okay, guys, the season just ended. Now I want to say real quick, we actually ended the season on an 8-game winning streak. So we might actually be looking at a #1 seed here in the Eastern Conference. We finished season 55-27. I don't know how. Like, we finished really well. We finished 8 games. I mean, 8-game winning streak. Last game of the season actually being against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we beat them pretty good. But the MVP here will be LeBron James, 23.5 points, 10 assists, 8.5 rebounds. The percentages are pretty talented. I mean, the free throw percentage could be better, but great percentages. The Rookie of the Year is going to be Luka Doncic. I don't know how you're going to try that name, but he, statistically, if you look at all the stats, he's a pretty good player. Jason Tatum for 6th man of the year there in Philadelphia. Karl-Anthony Towns for defensive. Oh my god, his stats are crazy. 26 points per game, 16 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 3 blocks, no steals. Didn't get 1 steal the whole season. But still crazy stats. Austin Rivers with the most improved player. It's a pretty good stat line. And then Ron Adams will be the coach of the year. Looks like they kind of moved on from Steve Kerr then. And his record is really good. 10 games better than mine. I thought my record was good. For the All-NBA first team, though, Lonzo Ball will actually earn that honor. With 18 points and 10 assists a game and 7 rebounds. I don't know if he's overhyped or what, but the game is really giving him a lot of credit for what he's doing. So, All-NBA first team for him. Here's just the rest of the All-NBA first team. All-NBA second team. Markelle Fultz is all the way down to the All-NBA. Look at his stat line, though. 20.5 points, 8.6 rebounds, 4.4 rebounds, or 8.6 assists, 4.4 rebounds, 2.4 steals, 1.3 blocks. So I have a feeling Markelle Fultz won't be too happy. Hopefully that gives him some motivation in the playoffs to be like, why the hell am I third team? Josh Jackson's also third team. I don't know. I think, why is Russell Westbrook third team either? I mean, look at his stat line. And Lonzo Ball's first team all defensive. I think the game is overhyping Lonzo Ball. I think he's getting way too much credit. I can't believe it. This game is really giving him a lot of credit. Okay, so Markelle Fultz once again an all defensive second team player. All defensive third team is Michael Porter Jr., who obviously I wish I could have drafted. He was drafted second overall. To which team is that? The Orlando Magic. 18 points, 8.5 rebounds. I mean, he's a great player, so obviously I wanted to get him, but wasn't quite able to. Or no, he wasn't. There's no all defensive third team. He's just all rookie first team. Any other crazy players? Ayton's pretty good. So yeah, that draft class is pretty solid too. But because of the way we finished, we won't be the first seed, but we will be the second seed. I was hoping we would earn that first seed spot based off the way we finished. And no, we'll stay 2 games out. But because of that 8-game winning streak that we finished with, we were able to create some separation from the Raptors to guarantee that second overall spot in the playoffs. And that'll put us against the Wizards, which I'd much rather play than the Celtics. Still though, you know. Wait, where are the Spurs? The Spurs were that bad? They had Kawhi, and they also got Joel Embiid, and everybody else. How are they? And they have Aldridge still too, I think. Why are they 28-54? Why are they the worst team in the league without roster? That NBA 2K simulations. This is why the rebuild was a tough idea for me. They gotta fix the simulations in this, man. We lose game 1. We win game 2. Win game 3. Win game 4. Lose game 5. But win game 6. There we go. So, game by game. Game 1, lost by 5. Game 2, Fultz did pretty good. Won by 11. Game 3, won by 7. This one was a good game from Jonathan Simmons. Our big guys didn't do that good. Markelle Fultz didn't play that good. Alex Len, Drummond, all those guys struggled. But LeVert did alright. But Jonathan Simmons really came up big for us. Game 4, we won by 3. And that's because Markelle Fultz and LeVert had a monster game. That's why we got those guards. Those guards are supposed to be the scorers for us. And actually, that would have been a really cool matchup to watch. Wall and Beal versus Fultz and LeVert. With how good each of those guys are getting, that must have been a really interesting thing. But here, we won by 14. And another big game by Fultz dropping 21. So, let's simulate this current round. So now in round 2, we are going to go up against the Boston Celtics, who actually swept the Raptors, who were the 3rd seed. Funny, that's just a weird coincidence. But we're going to win the 3rd game. We're going to win game 4. Lose game 5. Lose game 6. No. No. It's all Isaiah, too. Dropped 43. In game 1, he dropped 33. Game 2, dropped 34. Game 3, dropped 36. Game 4, he dropped 35. Game 5, he dropped 44. Game 6, he dropped 43. So he's going off. Dude. Where is, No. Don't you dare tell me. Did I just miss Fultz? No, Fultz fractured eye socket? No, I didn't miss anything. Fultz is actually gone. There goes our playoff chances. Oh, before we even had a chance. Andre Drummond pinched nerve in his back. He's going to be playing worse, too. You got to be kidding me. And this guy, can he play any defense? A little bit, but Fultz is an all-defensive second-team player. That's what we needed against Thomas. That's why we were winning games. Without Fultz, that puts us in a really tough situation. Let's see, yeah, Fultz went down in game 4, and we barely won by 4. Then we got blown out in game 5 and game 6 without him. So not having Fultz is really going to kill us here in game 7, I'm assuming. And no, we actually won. We won by shutting them down. They only scored 79 points on us. We shut down Thomas, and that's all you have to do to beat that team. But who was our point guard again? Whitehead actually did great defensively. He had 2 blocks, 3 blocks from Drummond, 2 blocks from Allen Williams. So that's how we had to do it. We had to play great defense. So I'll take it. But I gotta say, without Fultz, who is our star player, without him, and Drummond, who's a bit more injured, so he's not playing quite at the level he's supposed to, I don't think this is the conference finals the best situation for us. We will win the first 2 games, though. We'll lose game 3, though. We'll lose game 4. This will probably be like last time we played them when we won the first 2, lost last 4, and yeah, it will be. Don't know how you do that. I don't know how you win the first 2, then lose 4 in a row. It's a bit weird. But, yeah, I mean, that team is stacked, so, not an easy win, and obviously we're going to get knocked out there in the conference finals. And then the Cavaliers will actually lose in game 7 to the Warriors. Let's see that. Game 7, they lost by 23. And, yeah, they didn't play all that good. So, moving on here. I mean, the cool thing is we got a team that can make it to the conference finals. So, based off how some things go here, we might actually be looking at a team that maybe next year will be our last year of the rebuild if we can make it just far enough. So, we'll see. Don't really need to do any of this. Let's just go to league meetings, make sure nothing weird happens. Decrease the shot clock to 20 seconds. No. Stop doing all this weird shit. NBA draft. I mean, once you go to the rookie signing, this is an auto-generated rookie, or auto-generated draft. And where the hell do my team just not draft people when I'm not there? Sorry, but I'm all choked up right now. Fultz, LeVert, we can get both of them on team options. I'd love to get Whitehead back. He did a great job there. He's the one who made us even have a chance to go to the conference finals, and obviously we're going to get Fultz back. So, advance through that. Boom, 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 boom. Advance, advance, advance. Qualifying offers. Giles is now at 75. He's not a bad player. He is. I'm actually pretty happy with him. He played 76 games too, so the injury concerns really have not been plaguing him all that bad. Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, I do like him at small forward. Dinwiddie, offensive-minded point. I don't know if you'll even get enough play time next season to be worth it. I mean, we played a lot of games. He played a lot of minutes in these games against. He was the one who actually played the majority of the minutes against. Once Fultz went out, which is a bit odd because that wasn't the intention. That's really weird. We don't have to get that guy back, but why was Dinwiddie playing that many minutes? He wasn't playing bad either. Yeah, I guess we can get you back for 1.5 million. In terms of free agency, Alan Williams seems to be kind of locked and loaded on testing it, which is too bad because I like him. So offer. Why do we have to? I thought we just got these guys back. And sadly, Jonathan Simmons also wants to test free agency, which is odd, considering nobody's been signing him the past couple of years, which is upsetting, obviously, because I wanted to get him back. He did a great job for us in the postseason. He was actually the main contributor during one of the games, if I remember correctly. He was the big reason we even won. So, with this being another big free agency class, once again, the option has to be to try to get Kawhi Leonard. Now this time, it's just, there's certain positions that we need really bad. We also need a guy, I mean, a Kevin Love type player would be awesome. Just give us another star, give us some extra star power. I'd obviously much rather have Kawhi, but we need something to put us over the edge. Devin Booker can also play small forward, so we'll try giving Booker a contract too, just because I like him. Jimmy Butler also, I mean, just give me one of these guys, you know? That's why I'm giving all these guys big money. Just because I hope one of these guys pans out. I don't know, Kevin Love wants 31, that's just so much money for Kevin Love. Austin can also play power forward. I would give Allen Williams another small contract, but let's go through a couple of days. Just tell me one of these guys signs. Oh, Kawhi Leonard signed. Oh, that's such a score. Jimmy Butler went back to the Bulls. Booker went back to the Suns. Dude, I don't even care. That's actually good news for me because that means I didn't waste any more money on them. We got Dinwiddie back. Okay, now what we need is a power forward. So actually, I mean, we don't have enough money. Well, how much money do we have? I like, the one thing I do like more about this than MLB is that this gives you a much better idea of how much money you have. MLB is like, it's literally the most confusing thing ever. You have to do all these like mathematics that even Einstein couldn't do, and you still don't know how much money you have. So that being the case, let's just keep Simmons here. Giles, Jefferson, and Ariza will all sign. I do want to bring Ariza back. I don't know if he'll really get much playing time, but he has a good veteran presence to have on the team. We have a lot of youth, so maybe having one guy who's a bit up there in age. Don't know if obviously it's a simulation if that'll make any difference to anything, but signing this player will put me over my cap limit. Okay, we need to figure that out then. We need a power forward. So I don't think Giles, with his knee problems, I think he's best off the bench. How much money do we have? -5. Really? Great. I mean, Alan Williams just had to go out there and test free agency. I guess we can always just trade for a power forward once we get into the season. So I'm not going to trip. We just won't get him. Then we'll go to the training camps. And I'm fine with just not getting him back. But I do have to say, I'm really happy that we were able to get Kawhi. That's the dude that's going to put us on the map right there. That's the dude that's going to probably push us over the edge, because in the Eastern Conference, you need somebody that can slow down LeBron when you make it against Cleveland. That's the ultimate goal, is to make it against Cleveland in the conference finals if you're an Eastern Conference team. And if I know anybody in basketball that gives us the best chance to slow down Kawhi, I mean not Kawhi, but LeBron, it would be Kawhi. That's okay. We're making Markelle Fultz even faster than he is. And let's make can we make LeVert more of a shooter, or should we? We'll put Drummond in big man offense. Give him some more opportunities, get some big points down there. Now let's go to the next season. But no, getting Kawhi is a major game changer. Like major game changer. So if we look at our lineup now, if we go by position, let's go by this. Point guard, we have some good depth. Fultz, Whitehead, Dinwiddie. Shooting guard, we have another good player with LeVert. Then we have Lou Williams. Okay, they just signed him for me, I guess. Gerald Henderson, small forward. We could have a better sixth man, to be honest. We could have a better scoring sixth man. But small forward, I like this. I like Leonard and Jefferson. That's a great duo of defensive small forwards. Now, obviously, Leonard can score as well, but they're both defensively, very talented people. And great for when we have to go up against guys like Durant and guys like LeBron. Power forward, I like Giles. I do. I think he's really good. But I want a better starter. So if there's one thing I can trade for, what I'm going to go for in a trade right here is try to find a team that has a solid shooting guard that can play as a sixth man and also has a solid power forward that I want to use on my team. Okay, there we go. So all we had to do is be, I guess, a little bit less aggressive with it and just go for players that weren't quite as good. Buddy Hield can definitely shoot the ball. Adebayo is a pretty solid power forward. I don't think he's quite as good as Giles, but he's not bad. A+ rebounding. One of my power forward, I can get some boards with Drummond down there. When we have Drummond, another A+ rebounder, we should be getting every single rebound. So with that, they still want Giles. Okay, the only one Giles playing 26 minutes. He should be able to survive that. The problem is with his knees. Then again, right now at this point, it's really just a shot in the dark. Who knows if Giles will be able to survive a full season? It's one of those things where he's a good player, but who really knows at this point? This team, though, is really good. This team is looking really good. Just adding that Kawhi is really what put us over the top. So I'm going to send to midseason. I'll talk to you guys when we're there, and we'll just get a look at our team standings, our team statistics, and all that good stuff. Okay, guys, here we are at midseason at 39-17. We've been struggling a little bit here towards the end of this first half. You see, we only have 4 wins. Looks like we have about 6 losses. So last 10 games have not been exactly that good for us. We are still second in our conference, though. Sadly, if we just played a little bit better. The Pacers are 9-1 in their last 10. So how do we just win a few more games? We would still be the first seed, but we kind of dropped out because the Pacers are doing great. We're playing a little bit worse than usual, but regardless, we're still obviously playing great. I'm assuming based off how we're playing, this is probably oh my god, Fultz is injured again. This will probably be the end or the last season of our rebuild. I would say that this team is fairly close to being rebuilt. I don't see really any huge changes that need to be made. Team looks pretty good. So we're going to sim to the end of the season, and hopefully we'll earn that first seed in the Eastern Conference. But I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, guys, the season just ended. We finished this year's season at 60-22. The MVP on the season will be LeBron James. Rookie of the year will be this random dude, George? Maybe George? George? Stefan? Oh god, Ike Anigbagu? This is a joke. They're really trying to screw me over with these names. Okay, luckily, this one would have been a real pain in the ass to try to say. But Giannis Antetokounmpo. This name is not that tough when you learn how to say it. But either way, he's Defensive Player of the Year. But I was going to say, after LeBron James, these next 3 names are a real pain in the ass. And same with DeJounte Murray. I think he's probably a real life player, I think. Either way, then Tom Thibodeau is Coach of the Year. But, oh wait, that's my coach. Tom Thibodeau. I forgot we even had him. So we were the Coach of the Year, technically. Lonzo Ball, once again, first player all-team. He got to 86 overall, so just like, what's it called? Just like Markelle did last year, Lonzo Ball finally reached his development. So once again, the first team All-NBA player. So they're really hyping him up as they have been. So here's a look at the first team. Markelle Fultz, once again, a second team player. With 19 points, 10.6 assists per game, 4.1 rebounds per game. It's still another great season. I mean, he's only getting better every year. Is he the only? That's really weird that with our team, he's the only dude. Kawhi's not even up there. Whatever, I'm not going to even pay attention to it because I know Kawhi's a monster. Kawhi's not even an all-defensive first team or all-defensive second team. We have nobody up there, which is new for us. Okay, I'm not even going to look at these. That's just weird. Either way, we were the first team in the Eastern Conference. This will, I have to say, probably, we had the best record in the NBA by 2 games over the Golden State Warriors. So game by game, 1 game 1, 1 game 2, 1 game 3, lost game 4, 1 game 5. Okay. Take a quick look at how those games went for us. Harry Giles did great. Let's see how Harry Giles, he played all 82 games playing 27 minutes a game, so he did exactly what we needed them to do. That's a real blessing. But a solid performance from all 3 of those guys this game. Second game, another solid performance. Fultz did exactly what we needed to do. Kawhi did great. Happy with that. Fultz did great this game too. Kawhi is still doing great. Hill was able to come in and drop 10. Good rebounding game for Giles and Drummond. Let's see. This game, Fultz, Giles, okay, all of them doing good. This game, Leonard, Fultz, and like I said, everybody did exactly. They all played good. So that's really all we need them to do is just stay on a steady pace, play good basketball, and please don't lose in the second round. Well, we're up 3-1. There we go. After losing game 1, let's see, in game 1, yeah, we had no offense, or nobody really took over. We just had a lot of decent scores. This game, guys took over. Leonard, Fultz, Adebayo, Drummond, all these guys getting some good points. Game 3, Fultz, Leonard, LeVert, buddy. I mean, another great game. Offensively, this game as well. Leonard and Fultz are really being a great 1-2 combo there offensively. I thought LeVert would be more of an offensive player for us, but he has not developed that way. His best season was a couple of years ago where he got 15 points a game. But as you see, it just stays on a pace where he only scores about 11 a game, which is upsetting because I thought he would be a little bit more dominating on the offensive end. But regardless, that's all right. In game 5, though, pretty interesting thing as right here, 4 players scored 10 or more points. Nobody's scoring more than 16. So not exactly, nobody really took over, and that was similar to game 1, but we actually ended up winning that game because we still played good defense and we did exactly what we needed to do. Sometimes you don't need anybody to take over, but everybody's scoring and efficiently. But here in the conference finals, 1-1, 2-1 us, 3-1 us, and there we go. Once again, after losing game 1, we will make, for the first time, the NBA Finals. So this will be, like I said, the last season of the rebuild. We're going 4-1 for all these teams. The Warriors went 4-2 against every team. So that gives us a 1-game advantage to hopefully beat them in the series. But they're up 2-0. They're up 2-1. They're up 3-1. Oh, that's not good. Luckily, the Warriors have a tendency of blowing 3-1 series. They only beat us by 1 point that game. We beat us by 8. We beat them by whatever. They beat us by, or we beat them by only 3. Oh wait, no, I misread that. It was 109-99. I thought it was 199. My bad. And no, they don't blow that 3-1 lead. They're actually win game 5. I guess Draymond didn't kick anybody in the nuts, so they were easily able to win game 5 of that series. And we are going to walk home. We're not even going to drive home. Everybody on our team is actually going to walk home. Because as the GM of this team, I told them, if we lose the NBA Finals, you have to actually physically walk home from Golden State all the way back to Brooklyn. So, okay, no, actually, so we end up losing the series. We end up losing in 5 games. But with this team, this is the rebuild. Like I said, you don't always need to win the finals. All you need to do is have a perennial contender. And considering, look at the youth of this team. 25 in Leonard, 23 in Fultz, 26 in Drummond, 25 in LeVert, and 23 in Giles. All these guys with high potential. All these guys with the likelihood of getting better each and every year. I think it's fair to say that that this team will be in the NBA Finals at least every other year or so for the next 6 or 7 years with the youth on this team. So with that being the case, that's where I'm going to end this rebuild. I certainly hope you guys enjoyed the first rebuild that I'm doing on NBA 2K. Obviously, this is a step in a new direction for me going back on 2K. And I'm really hoping you guys are accepting to it. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And if you did, please click the like button below. Make sure to comment your opinion of the series and what I can do to make it more interesting in the comment section below. And lastly, subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned to this series and other series I got going on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, obviously with this being a new series, sometimes I'm a bit concerned if anybody will really ever watch it. Because sometimes people aren't that inclined to watch new series. But if you guys are one of the people here and really, especially if you watched all of it, let me know in the comment section below. And it really is appreciated. So I'll see you guys next time, and peace out.